Good evening, everyone. This is the Rowley Board of Selectmen meeting for October 22, 2018. This meeting is being video recorded and televised live on Rowley Community Media. We'll have public comment from 7:10 to 7:15. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our most important item on the agenda tonight is Halloween. Police Chief Dumas has recommended that the board set the hours for Halloween trick-or-treating on Wednesday, October 31, 2018, from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So I guess we need to vote to approve those hours.
I'll give you a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Continuing on with general business number 2 is to review the road opening permit application from Mark Viennes and Sons to open Bennett Hill Road at lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to install water service. The road opening permit was signed off on by the staff for the location listed above. A copy of the permit is in the chairman's folder. This is not something we need to vote on. Does anyone have any comment on these road openings? Okay, we'll move on to new business number 1, which is to award the Town Hall windows project to A.J. Woods Construction, Inc. 3 bids were received in response to the Town Hall window project. The bids were from A.J. Wood Construction, Inc., AAA Royal Construction, LLC, and Unicon, Inc. Debbie is recommending the Board of Selectmen award the contract to A.J. Wood Construction because they are the responsible contractor offering to perform the work at the lowest price pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 149. The bid price is well under the budget of $20,000, and their bid price is $13,000.
I'll give you the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to old business. Old business number 1 is the Pine Grove School project update. Joe Perry will provide an update of this agenda item.
I was at the Pine Grove School this morning, and I was in the brand-new art room and music room at the in the administration wing, and the teachers are looking forward to having their first classes in those rooms tomorrow morning. The rooms look great. A lot of instruments are stored in the music room, and everything looks like it's ready to go. I was in the AP room, and they were taking out the final pieces of steel that was supporting the structure while they did the work on the termites, and everything was coming out, and everything was looking good. They've cut in the doorways to the kitchen from the AP room, so they'll be putting those in. So things are really coming along pretty well. I saw the commissioning agent. When we go to the Friday morning meetings, we have an item on the agenda is about commissioning. And this fellow was from the state, I believe, and he was commissioning the boilers. We have 2 new boilers, and they will be heating the admin wing. The old boilers are still working in the other 2 wings, simply because they will have a changeover when after they finish those 2 areas. And this fellow was going through the 2 new boilers and going through all of the controls and everything, and he was commissioning the new boilers. So that was pretty good to see. And the new entrance is fully operational. You cannot get into the school without going into the office, and you have to be checked out by the school secretary, so you do not have access to any part of the building until you have passed through that office. So that's a very big safety improvement.
Yeah, I have to say, I was able to walk through the administrative wing and the front entranceway on Friday afternoon, and it is beautiful. It doesn't even look like anywhere like the old building. You think, you have the feeling you're in a brand-new building. That's how nice it is.
True.
They're really doing a nice job. Okay. Bernie?
Where are we on the schedule?
Well, they're on the schedule, except for the AP room. That's
The
because of
AP room should
termite.
be finished just before Christmas, and they are on schedule for Phase 2 and Phase 3.
Yep, I think they would say that they're slightly ahead of schedule.
Right.
But things are on schedule, except for the AP room, and that was an unforeseen condition that will be fixed by the end of this year. Yes, ma'am.
Did I read online that they had to redo the driveway or something? Did I see that?
Yeah, could you state your name for the record?
Sorry,
That's okay.
Jansenmuller,
Okay,
72 Central.
Thank you. Well, there was an issue with the entranceway to the project where it had to be redesigned to accommodate school buses because the width of the road and the radius on each side of the road was insufficient, not big enough.
So when is that going to happen?
They hope to have that done by November, actually, this year.
Okay.
It has to be approved, the redesign has to be approved by Mass Department of Transportation, so that's what's holding it up at this point. But hopefully that'll happen soon. Okay, old business number 2 is fire station, police station addition project update. Dave, do you want to provide an update?
Yeah, that project's moving along quite well. Weather permitting, they're gonna start paving the driveways and the parking lots tomorrow for the police and fire facility. The rest of this week, they're gonna be doing punch list inspection of the new police station. They're gonna be moving furniture towards the end of the week, new furniture. They complete the punch list between the 25th and the 31st of this month. And they got a temporary dispatch is gonna move into the training room in the new building around the end of the month. And November 1st, the state will be coming out to relocate the 911 dispatch centers. They have to do that. We're not allowed to touch them. They have to do all the work for that. Doesn't cost us anything, but they're required to do it. That'll take place on probably November 1st. Staff will be starting to move into the new building on the 2nd. And they'll be vacating November 3rd, the old building, so that as of November 3rd or the 4th, Castagna Construction will start renovations in the old building as the entire police facility will be operating out of the new building. So things are really moving along. And we're well on our way to early, around the 1st and 2nd of January, we should be totally in the new police station and the renovated old police station, and sometime around the 2nd or 3rd week of February, the fire station will be, not February, January, the fire station will be done. So everything's right on time and going along quite well, so.
Great. Okay, old business number 3, which is the recycling center. The recycling center will be closing on Saturday, December 29, due mainly to skyrocketing recycling disposal costs. The recycling expense budget will be depleted by then. We need to notify the users that it will be closed, that the recycling center will be closing. The last day it will be open is Saturday, December 29, 2018, from 8:30 to 12:30 p.m. Some options for the board to consider are, in terms of how to notify people, that the recycling operators will distribute flyers to users informing them that the center will be closing. And we have a sample draft attached to this note. Another option would be to post a notice on the town website. Another one would be run a notice on the Raleigh Community Media, put a notice in the November-December light bills, put a notice in the November-December water bills. As the board has discussed at previous meetings, the current location for the recycling center is not secured. Fortunately, we've had people dump trash, old furniture, and other objects at the center while the center has been closed. We are unable to keep the area secured during the weekdays because the Massachusetts Department of Transportation officials use the roadway in front of the recycling center to access their facility, and actually the land is owned not by the town but by Mass DOT. Recycling expenses have historically been very low, and we have been level funding the recycling budget at the same amount, $8,510, for the past 14 years. Due to unforeseen global recycling disposal increases, we appropriated $19,000 in FY19 for recycling expenses, and that amount will carry the town through the end of 2018 calendar year only. The original recycling expense amount of $8,510 was appropriated in the FY19 budget at the April 30th, 2018 annual town meeting. At the June 18 special town meeting, another $10,490 was appropriated for a total of $19,000. These funds are still not enough to cover the expense. Our plan at this point is to look for a suitable location on town-owned land to set up a new recycling center in the future. Hopefully during this time, the global recycling markets will stabilize and realistic end markets will be established for the various types of recycling items that are collected. In the meantime, residents can bring their recyclables to the Mellow Transfer Station at 203 East Main Street, Route 133 in Georgetown, or contact their trash hauler to make arrangements to have them take their items. The Mellow Station is open Monday to Thursday from 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Public comment.
Pardon?
Public comment.
Oh, yes, public comment is ongoing now, so if anyone has a public comment, please speak. Yes.
Sorry, did you? Ann Gansmiller, 72 Central Street. So you mentioned that you're going to look into other options on different town land where maybe, people that could be locked or something? Is
Right.
that what you're, okay.
Well, there are two problems. Number one is with the global recycling market, and as we just said, costs have been skyrocketing. So hopefully that will stabilize in the near future. The other problem is finding a secured facility, and that means a facility on town-owned land that we can secure, lock when it's not open. So,
Like maybe the water on Central Street has nice,
well, we're going to look at what our options are, and
So one option that maybe could also work with the defraying cost would be to charge people for a sticker. I mean, I know that other towns have done that, where it's almost like a dump sticker, where you could, have to have it on your car to be admitted, and that's something that maybe could be looked into to defray the cost.
Okay. All right. That's a good idea.
I mean, I think people are willing to pay to get recycling done. Certainly it's easier to have it be local than to go to Mellow.
Yes.
So I feel like that, people would be willing to do that.
Okay.
I know I called Jack Cook's grandson to find out if he was considering maybe adding this to his business. And he did say he was thinking about it, but it didn't sound like he had gone too far down the road to pick something up.
Okay. All right. Well, that's helpful. Thank you. So we need to vote on the type of notice to give to
So
people?
we have a draft, Mr. Chairman. It's here that it's a half page. So it'll be a half page flyer that we would have the recycler operators distribute.
Mr. Chairman, just while we're considering that, just to continue our discussion, not to respond to the public comment necessarily, but, I stop at the recycling center probably once a week or once or twice every other week. And without a secure site, we're wasting our time, because I go down there and there's trash around. You look in the bins, there's plastic bags, people aren't breaking up the boxes. In other words, when the center is closed because it's not secure, people aren't following the rules, and they're dumping all kinds of stuff in the bins. And that's one reason why it's so expensive, because there's just all kinds of stuff in there. When the JRM gets it, they have to go through and sort it by hand. You see the big facility they got down there on Route 1 in Peabody, they pile it in there, and then a lot of that stuff ends up just becoming trash anyway. So until we can get a secure site, that's the first step. And then once we get a secure site, then by then maybe we'll have a better idea of what a handle on what the cost is going to be. But
Right.
right now, you read the local newspapers and Boston papers and things I've seen online, is it doesn't appear to be any answer for the cost of recycling in the near future. So consequently, what a lot of these companies are doing is they're just hauling it away and charging it as trash. So it's a real problem, and most of us recycle since they started it. And
Me too.
It's a shame to see it go, but until we can get a secure site and make sure that people are putting the right stuff in the right bin, and the plastics and stuff are clean. That's the other issue, is that people are not cleaning out their bottles, cans, and plastic, so that they're coming in dirty. And at this point, the Chinese have decided that, and other countries that have been taking our trash for years now, decided that, hey, they're gonna charge instead of taking it for free. So it's a real problem, and it's something we need to work on. But definitely the first problem is to get a site that's secure and in the area where traffic can be handled. So
I agree. I was there the other day and somebody had thrown in a smoke detector that with a low battery, so it was beeping in the. I mean, like, but also I read that Newburyport is enhancing theirs, and they're so I don't know if it's just the size of the town that they have the ability to.
I think so. I think some of it is the fact that a place like Newburyport or Amesbury, they're already paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for trash removal, trash pickup. So if they take some money aside and put it for recycling, they may be saving some money. Mm-hmm. We don't pick up trash at all. And I know, and I think I mentioned it when we had a meeting before, was in Salisbury. Mellow picks up in Salisbury. Each individual household is billed by Mellow. I think the town, I believe, and I might be inaccurate on this, but I believe the town has a contract with Mellow. But the contract is that each individual household that wants trash picked up pays. And if you want recycling picked up, you pay an additional, I think it's $17 a month to pick up recyclables. So it's all about money. It's cost and those kinds of things. So it's something we need to take a look at, but it doesn't sound like there's going to be a good solution anytime in the near future, because it's just so expensive.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Bill Games, I'm on 72 Central. Has anyone talked to Newbury, because they use Mellow at their dump site? Like, is it possible we could take our stuff there for recycling?
We haven't got an official contract with them. I don't know if everybody from Raleigh starts going to Newbury. I don't think they're going to be too happy with that, because they're paying for their trash to be removed.
Okay.
And, you mentioned this, you did mention the stickers before. When we first closed the landfill back, and I was on the board then around early 90s, we tried selling stickers because we were going to create our own transfer station, and the stickers became such a nightmare that was just for the regular trash, that we just gave it up. It was going to be expensive and difficult to operate, and there was all kinds of shenanigans going on with who had stickers and who didn't, and who was allowed to dump it. Just trash for years now, trash basically hasn't been a big problem, but right now with the recycling the way it is, it's come back to hit us in the back of the head, and how we solve it, I'm not sure at this point, but definitely going to be a difficult proposition to deal with.
I think we just need to continue to monitor the recycling market, and also, while we're at it, try to keep our eyes on a suitable location in town.
Yeah, any time frame on something like that?
No. I think we'll just have to wait and see. Bernie?
Yeah, this is on a different topic.
Okay.
I'll hold it if you give me more minutes on the public
Well,
comment.
let's get through this.
Yeah, okay.
I promise we'll give you time. Well, the public comment's over now. But I'll give you time.
We'll be liberal tonight.
I'd like to consider that the options that we had,
Right.
that you read,
Yeah.
I'd like to consider that all 5 options be taken and that we do put out a flyer, and that we do send them out with the light bills and the water bills for November and December, and that we do put a notice on Raleigh Community Media. I think all of those options are very good, and that we should take advantage of it.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the bills especially because everybody either gets a water bill
Right.
or a light bill. So I think that's about the only way we can assure that 99% of the residents, as well as businesses, will be notified that the sun is closing. So I'll second it.
Okay, so that's for this particular draft notice. you're
Right.
talking about. Okay. The motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, Bernie?
Yeah, we had a power outage over the weekend. When a tree came down on a transformer. A tree came down on a line and then that blew the transformer. And so I had no electricity and no internet, no way of finding out what it was. And so I called 911 to find out from the police what had happened and how, because that was about an hour after we lost electricity and there was going to be another 45 minutes. So that's in and of itself is no big deal. What struck me though was that there's no kind of central number except for 911 to find out when there is some mishap in town. So as long as the police are fine with us calling 911, that's fine. But it seems to me as though some alternative might be appropriate to kind of consider when there is an emergency either in. I mean, each utility has its own numbers. The light company had no number. The water company you have to call the Pennachuck. But it seems as though there should be some kind of clearing.
It's definitely not appropriate to dial 911.
Mr. Chairman.
That's for emergencies. And number two is,
Oh, I understand.
any other number you call, light department, water department, it rings the police station anyway. There are 24 hours.
Mr. Chairman, yeah, after hours, those calls are routed to the dispatch. So that's one of the reasons why Raleigh has its own municipal dispatch and our regional dispatch, is that after hours, water, light, even cemetery, they're all routed highway
call
department
it business
to the
lines.
main dispatch at the police station.
So
if you
just the
call
main regular-
911, you should call the main police
Police
department line, or the call will be routed from those phone numbers to.
Oh, 911 is if somebody has a heart attack and you're on 911 asking about the power outage. 'cause
That was
they'll-
very brief, yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
but I mean,
agree.
in other words, they'll, if they're dealing with you on the business line, and the 911 line comes in, the dispatcher will put you on hold to answer 911. Whereas
Absolutely.
if you're already on 911, that call may get delayed in being answered, so it's just, there's no way that any of the public safety departments want 911 used for routine calls.
948-7644 is the line that you would call.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, next is announcements. The polls for the November 6, 2018 state election will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at St. Mary's Church Hall. Early voting hours will be held on the following dates and times at the Raleigh Town Hall. Voters need to check in with the town clerk. These dates and times are posted on the town website. So I'll read the dates and the times. All dates are in 2018, of course. Monday, October 22nd from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday, October 23rd from 8 a.m. to noon. Wednesday, October 24 from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Thursday, October 25 from 8 a.m. to noon. Friday, October 26 from 8 a.m. to noon. Saturday, October 27 from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Monday, October 29 from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday, October 30 from 8 a.m. to noon. Wednesday, October 31 from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Thursday, November 1 from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday, November 2 from 8 a.m. to noon. The YMCA is inviting residents for a tour of Camp Cedar Mill, dinner, and a discussion on the types of year-round programs residents are interested in. having at Camp Cedar Mill. The following sessions will be held in October that residents can attend. Tuesday, October 23 at 5 p.m. and Thursday, October 25 at 5 p.m. Please RSVP to Farah Dubé, parent at dubf@northshoreymca.org. Household hazardous waste collection, Saturday, November 17, from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Highway Department facility, 40 Independence Street. The town has the following vacancies: Agricultural Commission Associate, Cultural Council, Fence Viewer, 3 positions, Wood Lumber and Bark Inspector, Zoning Board of Appeals Associate, 3 seats, and Deputy Shellfish Constables, 2 positions. For more information on these positions, please contact the Selectmen's office at 948-2372. The Rowley Food Pantry is in need of donations. Donations can be left at the Rowley Public Library. The food pantry is open on Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and on Thursdays from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Motion to adjourn?
Motion?
Any seconds?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. We are adjourned.